America, this is Bob Zlatkiss, and I'm going to bat for America and for American children. America, you're being played. First, you accepted surrendering your Navy to Iran and having your children on their knees on the ground with machine guns at them for not drawing a line in the sand and for not stepping up to Assad in Syria a week from gassing children, from not providing weapons to defend the Ukrainian people. And basically what it is if you picture America as this gigantic 1,000-pound grizzly bear, and you picture a 120-pound man. A 120-pound man is afraid of a 1,000-pound grizzly bear. So what emboldens Iran to attack our Navy? What would embolden Assad to gas children on Obama's watch? What emboldens Russia to invade Ukraine? It's the same thing that emboldens Antifa, to attack police precincts, and these Democrat-run cities surrender precinct after precinct after precinct, So in Democrat-run city after city after city, they refuse to defend their people, And what happens is our cities burn in the blue states. If you want to be safe, go to a red state, or get a mayor that says to the federal government, hey, we're the strongest country in America. I deserve to give people law and order, to give prosperity. I'm not playing a political game. Now, I've been watching this political circus and this charade. I get it. The media is upset because they want to control the narrative and they want to be the only voice, and they don't like Trump talking direct to the people, But what I like is results. Make believe you're running a restaurant in America, and the restaurant is about signing the front of a check to make payroll so that people have milk in the refrigerator for their children. Make believe that you need to put someone in the kitchen that can get the food out. So finally you get a president that wins in 2 years against ISIS after the prior president lost for 8 years. Now, why would he lose for 8 years against a country that only has a group that only has 30,000 people and doesn't have their own weapons manufacturing? As we Americans sat helplessly and watched heads being cut off on TV and watched them blab their mouth and watched $40 billion in American military equipment left for Iraq to prevent it from falling into Iranian hands, and ISIS kept winning and winning for 8 years. You know why? It's military kickbacks. Because nobody could be that stupid. It's the same thing when Iran threatened nuclear and our guy gave $1.5 billion in cash, and gave $150 billion to the country that had been funding Taliban. That's right, Iran had been funding Taliban since 2017 to kill our children in Afghanistan, something we've been involved in 18 years. So where did Trump win my heart and soul? Is he said to the League of 50 Arab Nations, don't rely on American firepower. Don't rely on American blood. We're going to have our own oil. We're going to be free. We're going to have independence. And we're not going to have to fight your miserable wars for another 16 years. What does that mean? It means I have a 15-year-old nephew, 16-year-old nephews, and all the boys in our country won't end up going to fight stupid Middle East wars over oil we already have. We all get it that for 50 years Biden allowed our jobs to get shipped overseas, and China had the greatest growth in 40 years right under our face, and they were breathing down our necks to sit at the head of the table and show the world that democracy and free enterprise is not the best thing for society, but communism is best to lure other dictators to put people under communism. But Americans know that free enterprise is great. Americans know that in order to have wage growth, you have to make a sale. Biden wants to give you union jobs at the expense of your children, Trump has made school choice. I have seen it firsthand because I helped build the charter school in Sanford, Florida, and I saw the difference between non-union, non-regulated teachers that bring their A game and take a straight F school failing, and turn it into a B. You see, what school choice says is that the school, the county school, is accountable to the parents based on performance and results, so that the parents 4 million children. We're going to talk about 12 minutes here because I've got a lot of information to share, because the list of Trump, the list of Trump accomplishments are unbelievably endless. And you know what? 4 million children today have parents that are enjoying school choice so their kids are getting better grades, okay? That's a gift for children, okay? The children that came home when we won against ISIS in 2 years, okay? Our children in Afghanistan that are no longer fighting, that we haven't had a casualty since February 10th, okay? All the red states that had the Trump National Guard go in and stop any violence, okay? The monuments that haven't been knocked out because Trump came up with the law. The favored nation status that'll give America the lowest drug price so we're not the schmucks of the world paying for all the research and development, while in Canada my drug is $32 for 90, okay? And here it's $300 for 90. Well now, thanks to Trump, it's gonna be $32 for 90. In other words, results, results, results above rhetoric, above talk. Biden, in 50 years, he can't show you anything. And then he picks a lady from San Francisco. If you go to San Francisco, you'll vomit your insides. There isn't one of you that wants San Francisco for your children. This is the Democratic gift. You know, if you had 49 more Cuomos, picture Cuomo in New York. He's broke, his place is broke, he's losing to most people over 45 states, okay? His infrastructure hasn't taken a lick anywhere. Schumer like this, hasn't done one good thing, okay, Mr. Schumer. In 30 years, he hasn't got one result for the people. And he's got the highest taxed people. So, like Maduro, I've got the highest taxed, I'm losing the most people. If I had 49 more Cuomos, I could compete with Venezuela for this shithole of misery for the world. Or, give me a Harris. Can you imagine San Francisco, the queen of homeless, between Harris and Pelosi, okay? Congress and Senate, okay? San Francisco, hypodermic needles, disease not seen in 50 years from the law magnet of free health care. Who can afford to give $300,000 in heart surgery to a Guatemalan or American child is sitting in the waiting room waiting while they say, oh yeah, come in for free heart surgery? I says, Pelosi, why don't you open a hotel, a hospital, and a restaurant on the border with a sign it's all free and see if you have water and penicillin in 10 days, or take your immoral wall down around your house, and when there's 100,000 people inside taking all your resources from your $30,000 Sub-Zero refrigerator with your ice cream, okay, and your, what was that, your slave trading scarves to plug up to the black vote. You haven't done one thing for the African American community in 25 years, okay? What Trump has done, and we join it. I don't like this Black Lives Matter. I like all lives matter, American lives matter, but I like the Trump movement. Make black life better. That's right. Tax cut, tariffs, opportunity zones, bring jobs back to America to give the lowest unemployment, and then came the greatest thing, which was the criminal justice reform, 40 years overdue. In other words, we got smart, we streamlined, because the top 5%, America's 5% of the world's population has 25% of the world's people in jail. But all of a sudden we figured out that some people need to come out of jail sooner than others. Get those people out of jail so they're off of our thing, $60,000 a year to keep a guy in jail, and have a son, children, have their father back in the household working, because we got the lowest unemployment, everybody's paying for the party. So we got a jobs providing president, we got a trade deal providing president, we got a guy that took 8 million jobs from the communists instead of Biden giving away jobs to the communists, the Chinese, and then selling out America for his child, Hunter, okay, in China, Romania, Ukraine. You know what it is? The media don't call him accountable, and you're gullible, and that's why you celebrate a man that surrenders to Iran, your Navy. That's why you surrender to a man who can't win a war in 8 years against just ISIS. That's why you surrender to a man who can't say that America is a 1,000-pound gorilla, a grizzly bear, okay, that can't be screwed with by a 120-pounder. But no, you say, oh, let's surrender our police precincts. Oh, the Democrat cities are burning, they're burning. Well, go to the red states and see how you stand up and you have law and order, and your children are safe, and your children aren't dying. Trump is doing a real honest job. I saw 4 of his children speak with integrity. I saw his daughter-in-law to speak. I saw Herschel Walker speak. Tim Scott, the senator. Police reform is beautiful. When you have 71 million 911s in 1 year, from 850,000 cops that averaged a 300-day work week, in 71 million heart surgeries, from 850,000 heart surgeries, you'll get 30 mistakes or chokes. Okay, so there were 30 murders, but nobody cried over the 60, and that was 10 black. Nobody cried over the 68 black guys that were killed by white cops on Obama's watch. Nobody cried for the 80,000 casualties on Obama's watch in Chicago. Okay, you know why? Because Democrats aren't held accountable. That's why they can rape their interns, okay, and not get questioned about. Tara Reid from the sniffing Joe Biden, sleepy Joe Biden, 50 years, he sticks his head out every few years to lose an election, but he never makes anything happen. Oh, he's a nice guy that didn't get $140 billion from NATO, okay, that gave 140,000 families $100,000 a year, okay? That's right, 140,000 from NATO. That's a nice guy if you love America. The other guy who gets nothing is a zero. Anybody can be a loser. Anybody can be mediocre. Why suck up to mediocrity? Love America because there's a gift here for your children. It's about the gift to your children. Let every child love his flag, be proud to stand up for his flag. Let's get police reform. The Democrats stopped it because they want the problem, because the only political game they have is burning their own cities. Burning their own cities. Love America first. Don't be a fool. Don't suck up to media rhetoric. Connect the dots for yourself. If you open your eyes, you don't see migrant caravans coming over overrun border detention now with COVID. Okay? You don't see ISIS cutting women's heads off on TV while we helplessly sit. Connect the dots. You'll see honesty. God bless America. God bless the intelligence of America. Keep freedom. Don't take us down the path of mediocrity of Venezuela or San Francisco. The gift that Pelosi gave and Schumer gave will make you vomit. Thank you.